Hey, what's up, Domebot? Did you have a good Father's Day? And I don't talk to my father either. I get it. Okay, let's see. We asked Domebot the question, what is Jim Crow? Jesus Christ, this is fucking... All right. I might not let you say all of it. This is long.
Jim Crow refers to a system of state and local laws enforced in the southern United States during the late 19th and early 20th centuries that mandated racial segregation and discrimination. The term Jim Crow became a pejorative name for African Americans during that time. These laws remained in force until the 1960s. 1. Under Jim Crow, racial segregation was enforced in public facilities such as schools, transportation, restrooms, and restaurants. African Americans were subjected to separate and inferior facilities compared to those reserved for white Americans. The doctrine of separate but equal was established in the 1896 Supreme Court case Plessy v. Ferguson, which upheld the constitutionality of segregated facilities for African Americans. However, in reality, the facilities provided for African Americans were often substandard and unequal. 1. Jim Crow laws were enacted by white Southern Democrat-dominated state legislatures with the intention of disenfranchising African Americans and undoing the political and economic progress made by them during the Reconstruction era. These laws institutionalized racial discrimination, economic disparities, and second-class citizenship for African Americans, particularly in the southern states. The laws aimed to maintain white supremacy and control over African Americans. 1. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, founded in 1909, played a significant role in organizing public protests and campaigns against the Jim Crow laws and the separate but equal doctrine. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s ultimately led to the dismantling of Jim Crow laws and the establishment of legal protections for civil rights and equal treatment under the law. 1. It is worth noting that the origin of the term Jim Crow itself is not directly related to the laws or the southern United States. The term originated from a white performer named Thomas Dartmouth Rice in the early 19th century, who portrayed a caricature of a black person named Jim Crow in his minstrel shows. The popularity of Rice's act led to the use of the term Jim Crow as a derogatory name for African Americans, which later became associated with the system of racial segregation and discrimination. 4.
Oh, sounds like they should do something about that name. Where's the equity inside that name? Am I right, everybody? Back to the Dumb Theater.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.